Okay, so I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, excellent.
Yeah. So, we are going to have two sessions on digital marketing, as I was discussing with Professor Newman also. We'll be talking about digital marketing in the first session, and in the second session, we'll be talking about the influencer marketing, which has emerged as a very important strategy of digital marketing. So we will see in today's presentation that what are the various strategies of digital marketing that are being used by the marketeers these days, and how it gets implemented. Okay, so what exactly is digital marketing? Basically, when you are using internet and other online technologies, along with the help of certain devices like your mobile phones, your laptops, your desktop computers, and other digital technologies, because there are so many which have come up now, and using the technology, the digital devices, the internet and the online technologies, when you're doing marketing of your products, we call it as digital marketing. Now, when we talk about the ambit of digital marketing, that what are the things that we need to understand in order to understand how the digital marketing strategies can be designed, we talk about this ambit or the landscape of digital marketing, where we talk about these five very important components. Now, what are these components? One, as I said, is the digital devices, where we use the computers or the laptops, your mobile phones, your tablets. Then, because each one of them will have so many other subcategories. For example, when I talk about mobile phones, you have social media platforms over there, you have mobile apps over here, right? So that we count as the next component where we talk about the digital platform. So there is a device, and on the device, for example, on my mobile phone, you have certain platforms that you're using. So I might be using, or I might be visiting some website of some company. I might be surfing on certain social media platforms like the Facebook, I might be using some mobile apps, for example, some mobile apps to listen to some music, like Spotify, or if I use some mobile apps to read some news component, a news app, and so many other apps that we are using on a daily basis. It could be a simple games app also, or certain shopping apps also. Then also through emails at times, we receive certain messages from the brands, which are also personalized these days. So we will talk about that personalization component also. So what we have said is that one, you need a digital device. And on that digital device, whether you're using a laptop, whether you're using a mobile phone or your tablets, you're using certain platforms like social media platforms, your mobile apps, company websites, your emails that you're receiving. Okay, these two are important components. And then is what is sent to you as a digital marketing message, which we call as a digital media. Now, what is this digital media? It is that digitalized content, or that promotional component, or that advertisement that you are seeing on the Facebook, on the Instagram, on your mobile phones. So it is a component, a digitized component, which has been designed to send a message to you. It can also be a very, very simple digital content, which is used for promotional purposes. For example, a brand sending a simple text message to you on your mobile phone. It could be a more complicated component. For example, when you are on Instagram, you might be seeing some sponsored ad of certain products, of certain categories of products where you might be interested. It can be, so designed using just the simple text components, or addition of audio to it, or graphics or animations also attached to it, so that you can create a kind of an immersive experience for the consumer. So we will see that how the brands these days are using this, the designing this digital media to create, some very interesting experiences for the consumers, obviously using the digital technology, which we'll talk about as a fifth component. Okay, so the fourth component is your digital data. Now, this digital data is something that the programmers work with. So people who are from the IT background, they understand the binary digits, which exist in the form of zeros and ones, and there is a programming language which exists. So, but this is not a component of digital marketing. This is more of a programmer's job. So we are not going to talk about the digital data, the binary numbers, and the programming aspect over here, because we are having a lecture on digital marketing. But this is also a very important component, without which you cannot design your strategies. In fact, a lot of AI chats which are happening these days, be it chat GPT or the generative AI, they are actually talking about use of large databases in order to come up with an algorithm so as to produce something for the consumers in the form of generative AI. So a lot of database is running in the background, as a result of which we are seeing certain things in front of us. So that's a digital data. Then we have digital technology. Now, this is a very, very important component and becoming, all the more important with each passing day. Now, the digital technologies have been in existence for some time now, but every passing day, the digital technologies, the what they are capable of producing, they're becoming more and more sophisticated. For example, the artificial intelligence has become a more sophisticated technology over a period of time. It is possible to do so many things now with the help of artificial intelligence. Earlier it was limited to a few tasks. Now it is doing quite a number of tasks. So we will talk about also what aspects of marketing strategy designing happens through the digital technology. And specifically in this presentation, we'll be talking about augmented reality, virtual reality, and also artificial intelligence, and how these technologies in particular are being used in order to create marketing strategies for the consumers. Now, when we're talking about the marketing strategies, as you're already students of marketing, so you understand that we are basically talking about the four components. We are talking about product designing. We are talking about promotional aspects also. We are talking about the distribution and the retail outlets also. We're talking about the pricing decisions also. So all these are different kinds of marketing strategies under the four broad umbrellas or the four P's of marketing. And in every aspect now we see that digital has come up in a very, very big way. So that's the background of it. Now, very quickly, as I said, that one of the common platforms, the digital platforms where we see a lot of digital marketing happening is your social media platform. So in that respect, we have, Facebook and Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and various other platforms now. But it is not restricted only to these social media platforms. As I've already mentioned, you also have your mobile phones. You also have your other platforms like your emails and all. Also, one must remember that now every single day when we're talking about digital marketing, it is not just about what is, as I said, that it is not just about what is happening on the social media platform. It is also about any kind of usage of digital technology, which will ultimately take you to the company website. For example, in this presentation, we'll be talking about, in fact, at various places, as to how the companies have started using the QR codes very effectively to bring the people to company pages or to give them information about their products. So that's also a part of digital component, because you can only, the digital technology is something that will help you generate the QR codes and to direct the consumer from your QR code to various types of places, which we will see during the course of the presentation as well. Okay, now very quickly, what are the benefits of digital marketing? Now, digital marketing helps you in doing a targeted marketing campaign. This means what? That if I want to give a sponsored ad on Instagram or Facebook, I need not show it to everybody. So if I feel that I want to, as a marketer, I'm selling a pimple control cream, and my market is only, the teenage group, then, a social media platform like Facebook or an Instagram will help me select my target audience. Okay, I want to show my, my brand, the ad of my brand only say to people in India or to people in Indonesia. And then over there, I select the age group of population. I can select both the gender groups, the girls and the boys, because both of them experience this problem of pimples, in their teenage years. So I can select my target audience when I want to show the ad to them. And in that aspect, targeted marketing campaign is possible, not just on Facebook, Instagram, but on YouTube also, at various other platforms also, Spotify also, on news app also. I can select, okay, where do I want to show my ad? I can choose my population where I want to show my product offerings, basically. Then digital marketing also helps in achieving high conversion rates. So we will see as one of the strategies, and in fact in many other strategies, that how the conversion rates are actually increased during the with the help of digital marketing. Now, if I'm seeing something on television, I see an ad, I get an idea about, okay, this product is available in the market. But when I talk about digital marketing, it gives me an additional feature or an additional advantage where I can know more about the brand if I click on certain options. Know more, book now, shop now are such shortcuts which we see in the social media ads and at other places also, which help in converting the consumer at the time of seeing the ad. So if I see a television ad, for example, okay, the product is getting registered in my mind, and I think, okay, the next time I go to the shop, I'll buy this product. And by the time I go to the shop after 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, probably I've forgotten about the product. So the consumer who got interested in the product doesn't get converted. But when I'm seeing an ad on a digital platform or anything using a digital technology or digital media, if I get interested in a product, I will get a lot of options to do the shopping there and then, or to shortlist the product and put it in my shopping cart, as happens on the e-commerce sites. So there are lots of options which will help you in converting the consumers. We'll talk about these options. It is cost effective because as compared to the traditional media where you are advertising on television and all, digital marketing, especially on the social media platforms, can be done at a much, much cheaper rate. It engages the consumer. We will see what are the various ways in which the consumer gets engaged. We'll talk about various strategies. It strengthens your brand awareness. Again, through all these strategies, it can be tracked easily. A very simple example, if I am generating a QR code and if I am putting it in a newspaper ad, everybody who's now scanning the QR code and reading more about what is given in that QR code, use that QR code to come to this we are going to discuss in today's lecture as well. Okay, now very quickly, I want to show you this research which has happened in the context of the use of visual content. So as I said, that digital marketing can happen through a simple text message that you are receiving on your mobile phone, and it can happen in a more complicated way where you are seeing the visuals also, graphics also, animations also. Now, what has been said about the use of visual content? Now, if I'm receiving a simple text message as a message on my mobile phone, it might not be as effective to generate sales or to generate queries from the consumers or even to create any kind of an experience for me as a consumer. I'll at the most read the message. But when you start using, some visual content, the power of your message or your advertising or promotional message increases a lot. For example, out of this entire figure, I want you to just focus on just 2, 3 things that I've highlighted over here, especially. Okay, look at this. This green arrow that you see over here, which says that photos, illustrations, and videos, they get over 100% more engagement as compared to a text message. So a text message won't be engaging the consumer, but photos, illustrations, and videos can do that. And we will see that how it's able to engage the consumers also. Have a look at this as well, that visuals get 94% more views than the text-based messages. So just a text-based message might not be as effective. People might not even read it. But when you make use of some visual content, be it on the social media platform or on a mobile app or in email messages that you are sending, the visuals will get 95% more views as compared to a simple text message. And then this last one, the human brain processes visual information. How many times faster? 60,000 times faster than the text message. So just looking at the visual, I can process it in my mind very quickly. And therefore, it has been suggested, especially for digital marketing, that visual content should be used. Okay, now this is something that we've been talking for some time now. There was a time when the digital components, the use of digital technology was not common, but especially from 2016-17 onwards, there came in a time where a lot of organizations started talking about digital transformation. So digital transformation needs to happen in various functional areas of business, be it production, be it finance, be it manufacturing, quality control. A lot of areas require that. So digital transformation will not just be limited to digital marketing. It will be much more than that for an organization. So digital transformation has been receiving a lot of interest, especially from 2016-17 onwards, and it has reached its peak. A very high level of discussions were happening, at the time of, just before COVID, when we in 2019 and 2020, after which the steepness of the slope has only gone up, because COVID was a time when people were sitting inside the home and there was lockdown at almost everywhere. The entire world was facing this condition of lockdown. So digital component, e-commerce, shopping experiences, all those things increased a lot, and now it has only been increasing after that. A very important thing to remember here is that we say that now, what brands need to do, just from, just creating a platform where you just need to improve your process. Okay, the consumer comes, buys a product, goes away. No. Okay, the process part is important, but what has become more important for the brands is that you use the technology in such a way that you can change the way the customer is interacting with your brand, because that is going to make a difference. When 10 brands are available, each one has a very good process in place, the customers will end up remembering the brand where they have interacted with the brand, where they have experienced something new, and they will remember those experiences for a long period of time. So as I was saying, that COVID was a time when, this digital transformation started happening at a very rapid pace. So this is just one of the small examples when the restaurants, what they did was that, because of the risk of health and hygiene factors, people did not want to touch the menu card in the restaurant, because they thought that they could catch the COVID-19, the coronavirus germs over there. So the restaurants, they came up with this QR code scanning thing, where you could just, and they still maintain it, that you can just scan the QR code, the menu of the restaurant. For example, you scan this code here, as you can see over here. You can see now the menu of the restaurant on your mobile phone. You can keep scrolling the menu, and you can choose what food or drink you want to order, and that thing would be delivered to your table. The app will also calculate your total bill that you have to pay, and it will give you also an option that without even touching any currency notes or interacting with any of the persons over there, you can just make the payment online. So this was something that the restaurant started doing, especially, and this thing became very common during the COVID times. And now this has become a very common feature in case of any restaurant, even if you're still visiting them. Okay, now what are the trends in digital marketing that we are going to discuss in today's class? We will talk about the use of digital technology, which is being used in a big way. So augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, and especially how these technologies are being used to create customer experiences. Then in the second session on digital marketing, we will be talking about this endorsement part, where we'll be talking about the mainstream celebrities and influencer marketing as strategies, and how they are using the social media platforms for endorsing certain brands. So this will be covered in the next session that we have. What also we are going to discuss today is the use of chatbots, which is based on artificial intelligence, personalization, shoppable post, interactive content, social media stories, user-generated content, and the use of QR codes. Now, this use of QR codes we'll be seeing at various places. Before we actually discuss it at a strategy, we will see that how it has now become, visible at almost everywhere, right from the newspaper ads to the product packages to the promotional things which are happening. So we will see that how these things are designed. Over here on the right-hand side, what you can see is that how one of the brands, that is Domino's in Australia, had created this thing with the help of their AR feature, where the people could choose their pizza toppings to see that what their pizza would look like before ordering the pizza using the Domino's app in Australia. And this is from 2018. So things have become more sophisticated now, and more things have become possible with the help of the digital technologies that we are going to discuss. Okay, so let us now come to this main part of the use of digital technologies, where we see, or where we are going to discuss basically, that what would work behind the digital marketing strategy. So what is happening, on the backside, which we can actually not see. So we are seeing what is visible to us in front of us in terms of the digital marketing strategies that we see. But what is working in the background is the use of digital technologies with certain creative people, putting a lot of effort in thinking that what kind of strategies we can come up with and how we can design the customer experiences. Now, before we talk about the strategies, it's also important to understand, since you are students of marketing, that marketing right now is in the phase or in the era of marketing 5.0. So, marketing students should know that we have had different phases of marketing, where we talk about marketing 1.0, marketing 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and 5.0 is the current stage. So, 4.0 was a stage where the social media had come and brands have started using social media for marketing purposes. Now, this 5.0 is a stage where we talk more about the digital technologies, and the basic objective which has been defined for this particular era of marketing is that how effectively you can use the digital technologies to create experiences for your customers. So as we were saying in one of the previous slides, that processes everybody is improving, but customers will remember those brands which have been able to create experiences for them, and those brands where the customers are actually interacting with the brand in some way or the other. So that is one of the things that marketing 5.0 era lays stress on, and that is how we will now see that how it gets reflected in the strategies of various brands in terms of designing of their digital marketing strategies. So this is more about marketing 5.0, because this is not a part of this particular lecture, so I'm not going to discuss this in detail, but it does talk about creation of customer experiences. Okay, now coming to the first part of the technology, what is this augmented reality when we talk about use of this as a digital technology in the marketing strategies? Now, there is sometimes I have seen a lot of confusion between understanding of the terms of augmented reality and virtual reality. So it's a virtual experience, yes. So virtual experience is something which is common in both the technologies, and that's why sometimes people use the two terms AR and VR interchangeably. So I'll just try and explain it in a very layman language so that a person can understand it in simple terms. So what is AR? AR is, basically bringing together of two things. So one is your actual world object, and the second one is your digital object, right? So you are getting a digital object and an actual world object together. And when the two of them combine, there is a digital component which is produced with the help of augmented reality technology. You can also see the definition over here. So what we are saying is that you are in an environment and augmented reality is helping you to create some kind of a digital content over here. Let us understand it with the help of this example from IKEA. Now, IKEA is a very famous furniture brand. Now, let me say that I want to buy a piece of furniture for my living area here. Now, I am standing in my living room and I am pointing my mobile phone towards this particular living room, where I am able to scan the picture of my living room. Now, from the IKEA website, I have chosen this yellow sofa or piece of furniture, which I'm considering buying for my home. So now, when I go to the IKEA app, which has an augmented reality feature, it gives me an option that fine, I can scan my room and I will choose the furniture. And now I can see this furniture in the settings of my living room. Can you see that inside the mobile phone? So this piece of furniture is not actually lying in your living room. It has been now combined. Now, what we have done over here is through the AR feature on the IKEA app, one is the actual object, that is the actual picture of my living room. One is the digital object. Digital object is the piece of furniture, the photograph of it, which exists on the IKEA app. When I bring these two together, I can see that piece of furniture in my living room settings. Now, if I feel that this is looking good in my living room, I can buy it or I can shortlist it. I can still go to the showroom to have a feel of it before actually buying it. So I can use it for buying, I can use it for shortlisting. In fact, as you can see over here, I can also, see how the furniture is looking from various angles in my room, not just a static piece, but also move it at different angles to see that how this will look in my living room. This is one of the examples. Another very common example where we have been using augmented reality is on many of the eyewear brands. So there is, for example, a brand here in India which we call as Lenskart, and and it is not just limited to Lenskart. There's so many other um, uh, brands in the same category which are doing this. So what I do over here is I scan my face. When I point my mobile phone towards my face, it scans my face, as you can see in the left hand on the left hand side in the picture. That face scanning is happening, and then I choose a pair of spectacle which I'm considering to buy, and this app will actually show that how the specs will look on my face if I buy this one. So what if I buy the black one? What if the transparent, the orange, the green one? How it's going to look on my face, that's how it's going to show it to me. And the same thing can be done for the sunglasses as well. So this is where, an example where specifically taken from Lenskart app, which also has the AR feature. And the same thing is being used by a lot of apps which are selling cosmetic products, in terms of if I buy a particular lip color, how it will look on my complexion, which particular shades suit me well. I can actually test this thing even on Amazon and other such e-commerce sites before actually buying the product. So what necessarily we are doing is we are bringing together an actual object, in this case my face, and a digital object, in this case a spectacle. When the two of them combined, a digital content is produced. That means a face, my face, where I can see it with the specs, and this is your augmented reality feature. A very simple explanation of what exactly it is. Now, so I'll just show you some other examples very quickly, because we have to cover up the topics in 60 minutes. So in travel and tourism industry, let me say that I'm traveling to a particular place. And yeah, so let me say that I'm in Rome. Okay, so let me say that I'm in Rome and I'm traveling to this popular tourist destination, which is called as a Roman Colosseum. Now, if I want to know more about this tourism or tourist destination through a particular app which has the AR feature, I can point my camera towards this particular monument. It will first of all tell me what particular place this is. As you can see that it is written Colosseum, and it will also give me a short write-up about this particular place. There is some disturbance of voice here. May I request all of you to keep your mics off? There is some disturbance here. Okay, so the other example is the use of AR in maps. So here, when I point my mobile phone towards a particular direction, this is somewhere near the Eiffel Tower in France. So if I enter my destination, it will start showing me in the form of these arrows as to where I need to go on the street now in order to reach my particular destination. So this is something similar which works like your Google Maps, but Google Maps is in terms of the roads, and on the picture that you're seeing, this is being shown in real time. So the actual object here is the place where you're actually standing near the Eiffel Tower, and the digital object is a map which helps you to create these arrows in order to reach your desired location. Okay, now we will talk about also one very important thing which is being used in terms of the distribution decisions in marketing. That is about the retail outlets which are being designed with the help of AR mirrors. So now what happens with the help of AR mirrors is that when I want to try a dress, an outfit, when I go to a particular showroom, I don't have to necessarily go to the try room to try that dress. So if I have this this kind of an AR mirror with me, I will have an option on the right-hand side of the mirror to scroll and see what all dresses are available in the outlet. I can select one of the dresses. I can see in the mirror how I will look if I, buy this particular dress, this particular size, this particular, style of the dress. If I don't like it, I can try the other one. So if you look at these two figures, there is a lady who's just standing in front of the AR mirror. She's not trying the dress in the try room. She's just seeing, first of all, how she's going to look like in certain dresses that she's selecting. So this is something which is being used in a very, very big way already by some of the luxury brands, and most of the stores in US and all, especially, they have started installing AR mirrors. A lot of countries have at least some stores where the AR mirrors have already been installed, and such kind of consumer experiences are being created. So if I go to a shop where I have had this experience of trying a product on the AR mirror, I'll probably remember it for some time. I'll not immediately forget it. The same strategy is also being used by certain top brands of handbags, like Gucci and all also, where you have the AR mirrors installed outside, the shop. Um, just like you do that window shopping, you probably see some products and just pass away the shop. You have that AR mirror. When you stand in front of the mirror, you can just put your hand like this, and a handbag will automatically appear, in your hand, from the same brand as the shop, and you can see how you can look like. If you like the product, you can actually enter the shop after that, not necessarily before that. So there are lots of such stuff which has started happening here. Okay, and then listing of your business also is possible through the AR feature. Now, okay, this is also one of the interesting things which Zara did in 2020, sorry, about the window shopping. So this is how the window shopping has changed. So one example I just talked about here, when I'm passing through the Zara shop, if I open the Zara app, I point towards the shop, I will see on my mobile phones certain models which are walking wearing the dresses which are available inside the shop. They are not actually, there in reality, but it is visible on the mobile phone. So your shop is a static place. Once you use the AR feature, these models come alive and they show you the dresses available inside the shop. If you like those dresses, if you feel like buying them, then you can enter the shop. Okay, so this is what Zara did. And all these figures show that the use of augmented reality is only going to grow in the years to come. Now, use of virtual reality. Now, this is actually an environment which is, as you can read over here, produced by a computer. And it seems to be, or it looks like a very similar thing. We'll do a small exercise over here to see how actually it looks very similar to the actual environment which exists. So now this VR or virtual reality again is one such technology which is being used to create customer experiences and also to design various kinds of marketing strategies. A very simple example of a virtual reality is this tour of a sample flat by when I say that somebody is in the the real estate industry and they have built a sample apartment and they want to show a 360-degree tour of the sample apartment to people. So I have some controls available over here. So when I am wanting to see the virtual tour of the sample flat, I can actually start moving towards the left side first to go towards the balcony, or I can move towards the right hand side to see how the kitchen looks like, or I can go towards the front to see what kind of a master bedroom has been made over here. So I can actually move in this virtual reality tour as per my liking. Some part of it we're just going to see in some time. Okay, so before we see that, so virtual reality tours are being used in different kinds of industries for different kinds of products. For example, this is an example of Honda Civic car where the exterior of the car, can be seen. If I have a static picture, I might not understand how the car looks like in style and all. But with the help of this virtual reality or the virtual tour of the car, which I can make for the exterior of the car also and the interiors of the car also, the customer sitting at home can experience the product very easily. And the same can be done for some of the hotel rooms. So when I am booking a room in a hotel, I might not know exactly how this hotel room will look like. Sometimes what you see in the picture is very different from the actual hotel room which exists. When you actually reach, maybe you planned a nice holiday and you reach a hotel and the room is not good and you feel disappointed. So before I do the booking, I might want to see it. And this kind of a virtual reality tour that you can see of the hotel room actually gives you a lot better idea, much better idea in terms of how this room will look like. Also, in terms of the dimensions of the room, you get a very good idea with the help of these virtual tours of the rooms. Okay, now the same virtual tours can also be made for the tourist destinations. As you can see over here on the right hand side, there are also certain controls available. So if I move down towards the plus sign, I can zoom in into a particular place. Towards the minus sign, it will zoom out, and I can also go in different directions in order to experience this place. So now to experience a place, what we will do is, we will now do a very quick exercise. Okay, all of you can quickly take out your mobile phones. Please take out your mobile phones very quickly. Now, what you have to do is, you have to scan this QR code, which will take you to a YouTube video, but this is not like a normal recorded video. What you need to do is follow the instructions over here. I've already written here. So you have to move your mobile phones towards the right and towards the left. Once you do it, you will be able to see around the hotel. When you are in the hotel lobby, you can actually move your phone up and down to see how the floor and the ceiling looks like. I have mentioned certain point intervals over here at 1 minute 22 seconds, 1 minute 45 seconds, and 2 minutes 20 seconds. This will give you different parts of the hotel. So 1.22 will probably take you to a place which is a room which from where you can see the a kind of an aquarium or the seabed. 1.45 will show you a water body. When you see a water body, please point your phone towards the bottom. You will be able to see inside the water of Hotel Atlantis in Dubai. You can see the fishes actually. It depends on how you're moving your phone. Everybody will have a different experience, because the one who's just moving right and left will see only what is going around. The one who's seeing at the bottom will see the riverbed. The one who's seeing at the top in the first part of the video will see the ceiling of the video. So all of you, please, let's do this exercise very quickly. I'm waiting for 1 minute. Please scan this QR code.
Silakan teman-teman bisa scan QR code yang ada di slide.
Okay, done. This is go to the YouTube, right?
Yes.
Yeah, please scan
Exactly.
the QR code. I'm waiting for you to just have this very quick experience. Move your phone towards the left and the right.
Yeah. We can see a different view.
You can also just
Oh,
move
this is
a little head
amazing.
in the video.
This is amazing, yeah.
I just hope you like the experience.
Okay, some of you maybe can share your experience by after scanning this QR code.
Yeah, so I'm
Yes.
just waiting for another few seconds so that you can look at 1.22, 1.45. Please go to 1 minute 45 second, that part of the video. Please look at, point your phone towards the bottom so that you can see inside the riverbed. You'll be able to see fishes and all.
There are a lot of fish.
So now, for a consumer who wants to book a hotel room at this hotel, can actually experience the entire place. And then you can go to 2.20. And then you can see some other part also of the video. And then maybe you can just save the link very quickly wherever you want to save, or just put it on your favorite thing in the YouTube thing. And you can see the whole video of about 4 minutes at a later time, or you'll already have a recording of this video lecture. So maybe you can also use this QR code. That's exactly the reason why I have put this slide here. I've also reduced my video here so that the QR code is visible properly, and so that all of you can actually experience it at a later time also whenever you're seeing this recorded message. Okay, now we will get back to the lecture now again. Okay. So I hope we can continue now. Okay, moving on to the next slide. So this is just a small example of the experiences that the marketeers are creating with the help of your virtual tours. Maybe this can be done at a later time also to see how exactly this entire experience can be created. Now coming to another component or another type of technology, which is called as your artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is something that we've been hearing a lot, and it is used in so many different aspects of not only marketing, but also many other functional areas of business in order to improve processes, in order to improve the production of products, in order to improve also the marketing of products. So we will see some of these examples, but before we start explaining more complicated examples, a very simple example of designing a product. As I said, marketing is about 4 P's. So when I talk about the first P, that is product designing is a part of marketing strategy, right? So when I talk about Gmail is a product offered by Google, right? Now, when I design the Gmail and how it actually functions, now what artificial intelligence has now been doing for quite some time is that when I'm writing a mail on Gmail, before I even complete my entire sentence, there is a suggestion which is available to me, right? The artificial intelligence automatically offers you a suggestion that, okay, this is a sentence that how you can complete it. For example, in my mails, if generally I write my last line, for example, in your case, that I'm looking forward to meeting the students at your institute, right? So the artificial intelligence actually picks up my style of writing of the email. As soon as I write looking forward to, it suggests me the rest of the sentence. I can just simply click on it and the entire thing gets typed automatically. This is a very simple example of one part of product designing which can happen with the help of artificial intelligence. But this is not the only area. As I said, that it is being used in so many various ways, not just in marketing, but in designing of your smart homes, at so many features in your smartphones that you are holding in your hands, yeah, in terms of security, the surveillance, social media platforms, e-commerce, navigation, banking and finance sector, autonomous vehicles, where we are not talking about the self-driven cars and all. So a lot of areas are now using artificial intelligence. Now, a very interesting thing now is that many people say that a lot of jobs will be lost because of artificial intelligence and the job, and a lot of tasks that artificial intelligence has started completing. Now, that actually is, yes, true. Okay, so that's actually true to some extent, because yes, a lot of jobs will now be performed by artificial intelligence. 5 years down the line, a lot of jobs will become redundant because people will not be required to do those jobs. So everything will be, because some basic jobs will be done by the technology. Then what will happen to people who are looking for jobs? What will happen to the job market? So it has been suggested by a lot of reports, a lot of people are already talking about it, that yes, we agree that a lot of jobs will become redundant. Some people say that more than 50% jobs, some people are talking about an 80% number. But the fact remains is that number of jobs are not going to reduce. What will happen is that the skills required by people who are entering the job market will be very different from the skills required also in today's date. So if 3 years, 4 years down the line, if you want to still be relevant in the job market, you need to have digital skills with you. So because everything will revolve around the digital technology, everything is going towards automation. So if you have the required skills, you still will be able to do something in any of the areas. For example, if I'm a marketing professor, if I don't update my knowledge in terms of what is happening about the digital marketing strategies, what the brands are doing, and if I keep talking about the traditional strategies, then I will lose my relevance as a marketing professor. So as we are required to, upgrade our knowledge in our area, similarly, everybody has their own area or job area or expertise area. They will be required to upgrade their skills. And the people who are just entering the job market will be expected to have those skills where they understand digital, the technology part of it, the designing part of it, functional area may, where we say that digital is being used in different functional areas, how it is being used in the functional area. So you need an understanding of that. But yes, artificial intelligence, has that particular problem, but it can be designed or it can be used to create amazing user experiences. That is what is written in the last picture over here. So user experiences, one is the experience through the virtual reality that we just saw. There are other experiences which can be created with the help of artificial intelligence, which we'll be seeing in one or two other exercises that we are doing. But before that, let us very quickly see that how this artificial intelligence is visible to us in our daily lives when we are actually probably buying some products online. I'm sure you would have seen something like this, that when I'm looking for a dress, there's certain product recommendations that I see on some e-commerce sites. So how do I get those product recommendations? Because the e-commerce site where I've been shopping regularly has started understanding me as a consumer. What kind of dresses I wear, what are the colors I like, what are the styles that probably suit my body, and that is why I'm buying those styles. And keeping all those things in mind, what I'm seeing is the product recommendations by the e-commerce sites that we recommend these products for you. So this is happening through artificial intelligence. So there is no, people are not sitting behind the e-commerce sites to understand you. It is a technology which is understanding you and therefore recommending you these things. In fact, not just the product recommendations, the artificial intelligence technology, for example, for an e-commerce site, also understands your consumer behavior, which is another very important part of marketing. So it knows what are the times of the day when you are active as a consumer, when you place orders for products. Probably I'm a working woman, so I don't have time in the first half of the day to see the e-commerce site or to shortlist the products for myself. So my shopping probably might be happening in the later part of the evening. For some other consumer, because of the job or the personal lifestyle, it might be the morning hours of the day. For some people, it will be the later hours in the night. So they are also understanding the timing of your purchase, what type of materials you purchase, what type of dresses you like. And the same thing happens in case of Netflix recommendations. So in case you've used Netflix, you would have noticed top recommendations for you. So on the basis of the content that you watch, they start recommending certain other stuff to you, certain other series to you. So it is on the basis of your behavior as a consumer. So that is how artificial intelligence is working in our daily lives, in very common things that we are using in our day-to-day life. This is also one of the examples where Pinterest helps you find something in terms of a product. Let me say that I visited somebody's home and I like this particular light which was there. So I clicked a picture of this hanging light. Now I'm trying to find something similar on the internet. So I put this picture and Pinterest helps me in finding the various options. As you can see in the picture over here, it will list down so many options of the sellers which are selling similar kinds of lights. So I can actually look at the sellers, I can see the prices at which the similar light is available, and I can buy it for my home. So I can just simply click a picture. It's a kind of an image search that you're doing. So that is also something that artificial intelligence is doing for you, just with the help of a picture. It is finding out various sellers which are providing or selling similar kind of product in the market. Also during travel time, I've already shown you one of the examples, but if I am traveling to France and something is written, some instructions are written in French language, which I do not understand, then Google Lens is one such tool, which again uses artificial intelligence, where I can actually just scan what is written in French language. I can choose my preferred language, for example, English, and Google Lens will translate that stuff from French to English. So that translation thing, even in case of songs, if I like a song, which I like hearing on Spotify, some internationally famous number in a language which I do not understand, but I want to see what is the meaning of that song, I can just put the lyrics and I can use the Google Translator to do that for the language translation for me. So all these small little things can be achieved with the help of artificial intelligence. Now, artificial intelligence is also, seen in our day-to-day lives with the help of, such features. For example, when I talk about your mobile phone, a mobile phone will do a face recognition. When I point my mobile phone towards my face, there is a face recognition feature which helps you unlock the phone. So how will that thing happen? With the help of artificial intelligence again, that face recognition feature which again is a part of your product designing, which is a part of marketing. So as a part of my mobile phone, one of the features that I'm offering in my phone is the face recognition feature, which works with the help of artificial intelligence, without which you cannot offer that feature to the consumer. Another feature is the use of Google Maps, not simple Google Maps showing you the routes, but also showing you in real time where do you want to go. And this is something that was tried, in some of the large airports in the US and the Europe, sometime during 2021. As to whether we can use certain busy places, we can actually show the consumers the actual way to reach a particular destination. So these are already in place in some of the countries. Okay, so what will the future look like with artificial intelligence in future? And we are already using drones, right? During the COVID times, in many countries, drones were used to also deliver medicines to various places. In future, we can expect that drones can be used, in a bigger way for delivery of various kinds of products. So this is exactly what you're seeing in the picture also here. We already have this concept of self-driven cars, which have come into place. So there are certain self-driven cars which are being tested, though it will also require the use of some kind of a technology. But we say that this is something which will get combined with the sensor technology, the machine learning and other things in order to be properly implemented. Okay, now this slide I'm going to just skip for the time being. I'm just showing you this one and the next one because, as I said, the social media influencers and influencer marketing is something that we will be studying in our next session. I'm showing you these slides because these are important strategies of digital marketing these days. So this is something that we will be taking up in the next class, along with celebrity influencers and the social media influencers. So we'll be talking about this in the next class. Now, again, a very important product, a feature of many products of mobile apps of the company websites is chatbots, which again gets implemented with the help of artificial intelligence. So what is this chatbot? It is basically a software which is empowered by artificial intelligence, and it is helping you solve or reply to the customer queries 24/7. So throughout the day, you can't have like customer care office people sitting 24/7 or throughout the day to reply to customer queries. So sometimes you need some kind of an assistance. A very simple example first I'll discuss before I discuss this example with you. So a lot of people are using food delivery apps. Like, for example, in India, we use a lot of Swiggy and Zomato, and I'm sure you people would also be using certain food delivery apps. So now when I've ordered my food, I can go to this app and I can go to the option that where has my food reached, where has my order reached, how, and then if you have any queries regarding your order, there is somebody saying that, okay, how can I help you with your order? So there is no person, people are not actually replying to those queries. It is an artificial intelligence software which is interacting with you. It wants to give you an impression that, hi, my name is this and how can I help you today? But these are not actual people who are sitting over there. These are certain queries or responses which have been generated using artificial intelligence and actually implemented in the form of this chatbot. So that, and this is exactly what you see in the benefits of chatbot, that 24/7 service you have available. Whatever queries the customers are giving, you get instant responses to those queries. Now imagine that I call up a customer care office. So if I say that I'm so-and-so and I've ordered this thing, this is my order number, they'll tell me to wait for 2 minutes before they can feed my details. They'll feed my details. They will see what is the problem. Then they will come back to me in another 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That is a wait time for the consumers. When you are interacting with the technology, the waiting time is minimum because you are probably reaching out through your website or your mobile phone, which already has your particulars. It automatically picks up your data and immediately reaches the point of problem and responds to you. So the wait time is reduced. You can post your queries at any time of the day, be it night, because there are no open and shut times or of the office, or there are no off days. It is actually working for the company 24/7. So there have been cases like where, for example, in case of credit card, MasterCard example, I'm just showing to you very quickly because I might not be showing other examples in detail. So when I'm using a credit card, I can actually go to the chatbot of the banking of the bank and ask them that, okay, what is the balance due on my MasterCard? It will show me the balance instantly. When I say, okay, that what was my spending in the month of January, for example, they will show me that what was the spending. When I ask for, okay, please show me a segregation, what are the various heads under which I had spent the amount, it will show me instantly, okay, these are the things that had spent in January. I can ask for the same data for March. I can ask for the same data for the month of July, September, and it will show me the details very instantly. Then I can ask what are the offers available on my card. It will show me the offers. If there are certain discounts available on certain restaurants, I can actually consider going over there. So these are instant replies that I'm getting on this particular chatbot, which helps me as a consumer get the information readily available to me, right? And it is happening, it can be used at any point of time in the day. That is one very important part of a chatbot. Now I'm just showing this very quickly, not explaining this thing in detail, but as you can see in this moving image, that chatbots can also be used for shopping. So if I want to buy aviators glasses from Ray-Ban, I can actually put the query, look at these options, just look at this picture, I can actually see the glasses from various angles. I can scan my face. I can see how it looks on my face with the help of augmented reality feature. I can call up a friend, ask for the suggestion. The friend gives a thumbs up. I actually go to the payment thing. I pay the amount and I buy these glasses. So this is like a whole process of shopping which can happen through the chatbot. I just hope you were following that figure that I was just showing to you. So that is how chatbots can actually work. There are various kinds of chatbots. For example, the troubleshooting chatbot, which are also used by HR departments, the e-commerce bot, which marketers use a lot. There is a training bot, again, used by HR departments, order tracking bot, as I had explained to you in terms of Swiggy and Zomato and food delivery apps. So there are different kinds of chatbots which can be used in order to implement your digital marketing strategies. Now, all these things that we have talked about, is something where we say that in every point of time you or in any kind of strategy, you need to see that how can you personalize experiences for the consumer. For example, I'm showing you an example of Spotify app, which is a music app. So based on my listenings, these are the things that I see on the app. So if you can see the picture, it says based on your recent listening. So it has suggested certain albums for me. It has also created certain mixes for me. Okay, so these are all Indian songs. If because this is from my Spotify. Now, when I use it for another 6 months, I probably am using certain other or listening to certain other songs. So after 6 months, this will look very different to me on Spotify. So based on my current listings, they have made certain list mixes for me, which I would probably like listening to. For certain other person who likes listening to certain other kinds of songs, it could be a different genre of songs, it could be different singers altogether, they will have a different thing created for them. So for every individual customer, what you're doing is you're creating a different content. And therefore, this particular thing that I see on my Spotify is personalized for me. This is not for you. This is just for me. And because it is just for me and created on the basis of my likings, therefore, it appeals to me more as a consumer. And that is why we lay a lot of stress these days on personalization of things in marketing. So there's, certain figures that I've written over here, which also shows that how certain researchers have actually come up with the findings that people actually would want to see a lot of personalized content. So whether it be on emails, I'm not showing you, maybe I'll show it you in the next slide, one of the emails that I'd received. So which also addresses me as Ruchi and not sending the same mail to all the consumers. So in Ola cabs, when I use a cab service, so they remember me every time when I take a cab. So when I sit in the cab, first of all, they'll greet me, good morning, Ruchi. And then they will ask me, will you want to listen to the same songs list that you were listening to the last time? If I say yes, it will remember my song selection. It will play that list again for me. So every time I don't have to, choose from the tab in the cab, that what songs I would want to listen in that 1 hour of journey probably that I'm doing. So it remembers you as a customer, and that is something which is appealing to a customer. Okay, that this particular brand, this particular company remembers me, remembers my likings, and is accordingly, interacting with me. Also, some more examples are, for example, this is what I've already mentioned, that on the basis of my likings, on the basis of my shoppings, the e-commerce websites recommend dresses for me. So probably this is something which is meant for one consumer. For the other consumer who does some other kind of a shopping altogether, there are different product recommendations that the other consumer is seeing. This is one of the mails that I had received on my email by Zomato, which is one of the food delivery apps. So in the opening part of the mail, I was seeing, Ruchi, we have a compliment for you inside. Okay, so anybody would get interested to see what they have written inside. And then when you scroll down, this was what I'm seeing, that you are looking at one of the best people ever, and you need to order something for yourself now. So order now, and Zomato. So now what they've done is, they have now called me by my name. If you see the subject of the mail, Ruchi, we have a compliment for you inside, right? So now, how is this achieved? No, they're not going to put the names of people separately when they send the mail. It happens through the artificial intelligence software. So they have designed one content. They have a list of people to whom that mail has to go, and artificial intelligence will automatically put the name of people, first of all, as a first part of the subject, in the name part of the subject. That will be done automatically. One, artificial intelligence can also be used after this entire thing is created. If they know that, okay, whenever I pick up my mobile phone, I'm active at that point of time on my phone, so I will receive this mail at that time. A second person who's picking up a phone after 1 hour will receive the mail at that point of time, because that is their active time as a user, as a consumer. So all those things are also possible through artificial intelligence. So that is the meaning of personalization, not just limited to putting your name, but also to the timing at which you are actively using your phone and sending the mail to you at your active time, so that you actually end up seeing the mail and it doesn't remain just in the notification. So all these things are already happening. Another quick thing that we will see is the use of shoppable posts. Now, have a look at this example here. Now, these are some very typical examples of ads that I see on Facebook or on Instagram or on other social media platforms. Now, this, as you can see, is an ad for, buying some of your home products. In this case, you can see a piece of furniture. Now, I'll just show you one arrow here now. Okay, this arrow. Do you see this shop now option? Now, when I click on this shop now option, if I find this sofa appealing, if I'm considering if I want to buy it for my home, if I click at the shop now option, it will immediately take me to the company website where this piece of furniture is available. I can probably also see a virtual tour of that sofa on that website, and I can actually end up buying it. So I'm not just seeing it and scrolling down. If I'm interested, I can actually use the shop now option. Now have a look at this, the second arrow. In case of the second picture, now this is again, a different brand of furniture. Now this is an Instagram ad, again showing you the shop now option. So what you've done is that now you have reduced the various stages of, the buying, of your, when we say that there's a series of steps involved in shopping. So now what is a step? If the shop now option is not here, I will look at the ad. I'll probably try to remember the brand. I'll go to the shop. I would want to look at the same furniture again. I might not be able to explain to the shopkeeper what exactly is the piece of furniture that I'm wanting or trying to find. And then I will struggle a lot. Okay, find the furniture and then probably buy it. Now, just by this putting one option on your social media platform and clicking at it, the entire process gets so streamlined and so very simple that you can actually go on the company website. You can shortlist the product, you can buy the product, you can experience the product if the company has already also created the virtual tour, as we saw in the case of Hotel Atlantis in Dubai. You can actually create virtual tours for any of the products. You can actually experience the product and you can end up buying the product also. And that is why, the brands are trying to also use virtual reality along with all these features of shoppable posts, where they feel that the customers should be able to experience the product, get some kind of a conviction, where they feel that yes, now they like the product before actually they buy them. Very quick example of this, how this works is, if I see this particular ad on Instagram, which is also coming with a tag, the tag tells me the name of the product of this brand, that this is called the stem necklace, and it is available at this price. Now, if I feel that, okay, at this price, now the price is already mentioned. That is also one important part here, which was missing in the earlier example. So if I feel that I would want to actually buy this necklace at this price, I will just simply click at it. Once I click at it, you know what, it will start doing something like this. This is now the second one is an example of a cosmetic, but if I like the price, I click on it, I go to the company website, I look at the features, I have an option of paying it there and then, I pay it and I actually buy it. So this is how the entire execution works, as I was explaining in the last slide, that you just have to click at the option and you will be able to immediately buy the product, not actually, you don't have to actually wait to actually go to the shop to buy the product. So shop now, book now. In case of Netflix, when you say subscribe now, all these are options available when we talk of shopping, shoppable posts. Some of the last topics here, interactive content. Now, one of the interactive content that we've already done is the Hotel Atlantis Dubai thing. Another kind of interactive content is running quizzes and polls. So quizzes and polls, for example, this is, from one of the brands of home decoration. They give me a quiz or a poll. They tell me, okay, this is number 1 cushion for on this pink sofa. This is number 2 cushion. They can also show me number 3 cushion and 4 cushion, which according to you is looking the best on this sofa. So you actually end up writing in the comments that I like number 2, I like number 1. Somebody might be liking number 3. So this is one way of interacting with the brand. So the brand is coming up with ways in which it is making the consumer interact with it. As I interact more and more with the brand, I get to, I'm connecting myself with the brand. So this is one of the ways, quizzes and polls. Another way is augmented reality ads, as you can see over here, augmented reality and 360-degree videos. So 360-degree videos is something that we have experienced already. Augmented reality ads have started coming. I'll just mention a few examples, which you can see later on. But again, when you're talking about interactive content, I've given some examples of, from India. You can experience the Taj Mahal using this YouTube link. You can also visit Amsterdam, the 360-degree video using this YouTube link that I've just provided. Now, let us talk about this very interesting strategy, which was used by Burger King very recently. Now, what they did was, though we will talk about QR code now after this, so they, in their traditional media, now on television, they were showing their ad. Now, television is a traditional media of advertising, but how did they introduce a digital component in that traditional media of advertising? Now, in this ad, they had shown a QR code which was just moving here and there. Now, when I was the ad on the television, I was supposed to scan it. A person who was able to scan it and catch it at the time when it was running here and there on the screen, that person would win some free burgers from Burger King. So now very quickly, take your mobile phones again, and we are going to try this. Now, what we are just going to see is that what people were seeing on television. This is a very short clip, so it will not take much time. So what we will see is that what people were seeing when they saw this particular ad on television, and people were supposed to use their phones to scan this code. So if you can just quickly scan this and see what people were seeing as a Burger King ad on television. This QR code which was moving on the screen, and you were supposed to scan it when it was moving on the screen. Very quickly, all of you can just quickly do this exercise.
Silakan bisa dicoba teman-teman.
Yes. Have you done this? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So this was, one of the things which was being used in an innovative way. So why? Because the brand wanted the customers to interact with the brand. And this is a traditional media, television, combined with the digital technology of a QR code. Once if you are able to scan the QR code, it will take you to the company website. So that again becomes, the digital marketing thing. So reaching from a traditional media to the company website, entering the contest, and becoming eligible to win the content. So now what we do is, because we have done already 2 exercises with the help of QR codes, let us very quickly see also what are the benefits of these QR codes for the marketers. So QR codes are being used now extensively, in various areas of marketing, on product packaging, in promotion. We have already seen in creating virtual reality tours. So we have seen a lot of areas already, but I'll show you some other examples also now where the QR codes are being used. What are the benefits of using QR codes? Quickly have a look at this. It delivers the information in a single scan. So you're just scanning it and you can see different varied kinds of information, right? It is not just a particular kind of information that you can see. Marketers can create directed promotional activities. For example, Burger King contest, you want to enter the contest, you need to scan the code. So promotional activities can be designed using the QR codes. Distribution and access to information becomes easy. It is very cost effective because for generating a QR code, it is, cost is required. Okay, I've been doing these exercises with you. I'm showing you the QR codes. It has costed me zero to produce the QR codes to do this exercise for you in the class, right? So cost effective. And marketers can analyze and track the number of scans which are happening. So how many people are scanning the code and reaching a particular website or a particular page in order to see information is something that the marketers can track in case of QR codes. And therefore, QR codes is, one thing which is now being used extensively in various areas. And using the mobile phones now, especially, we have already seen this example that how the restaurants are doing it. We have also seen that how for making the payments, when you're buying something, you scan the code, you are making the payment, you don't have to carry the currency with you. So from the pricing aspect and the payment terms of aspects, you can offer the QR code where the customer can actually make the payment. So quick and contactless payments, which also became popular at the time of COVID. This is something that we saw right now. So in promotional activities, we have seen that how, it was also being used by Burger King. So from television ad, you could just scan it and you can actually reach the contest page where you were becoming the eligible for doing the entry. We have also seen, in case of tourism, that people can scan the QR codes and get a map of the entire tourist place. When you are in a different country, again, you can scan for making the payments. So the problem of carrying, a currency of a different country, when you are, wanting a map of a country, all these things can be, small little things can be achieved with the help of your QR codes. In terms of, these are again the same advantages. When I talk about newspaper, it is again a traditional medium. But again, a lot of newspaper ads, at least here in India, have started using QR codes where you can scan the code and get a lot more information about the brand. So in this case, in the middle of portion, which says the Scan It and Own It Festival. So you can see a QR code there in red color. Now, this is also one of the ads of newspaper, which is about one of the islands in that island. So this QR code actually helps you get that all those activities. Now in packaging, this is one thing that I'm showing you very quickly, and I will provide a QR code of this thing, which you can do later because this will take some time. You can, in India, we have Coke bottles available these days, which is talking about Coke Studio India, which is a kind of a music platform that Coke has created. So on Coke bottles, we have the QR codes available these days. This is a QR code that I can see on the label. If I scan it, it gives me an option of this thing. Just look at the bottom, view in AR. It gives me an option of viewing the Coke Studio, which is a music platform in AR. Once I click on this, I will see something like this on my screen, that I see Coke Studio at a distance. Once I start walking in my room, I come closer and closer to this Coke Studio, and ultimately I'm able to enter this studio. I'm actually inside the studio. Then I can actually start moving around and I can see that what all song options are available to me inside the studio at various angles, and I can actually touch on my phone and play the music, whatever music I like, on the Coke Studio platform. So imagine, just from a label on the Coke bottle, this QR code has taken you to a music platform where you are actually inside the platform experiencing it, and you have also played the music just from a QR code. So now this is the QR code that I'm providing to you. Since this lecture is being recorded, you can probably use this lecture. I've given a close-up of the QR code. You can actually scan it, follow some instructions of visiting this in AR. In case you have any problem here, you can also see my LinkedIn page where I've explained in detail that how this Coke Studio can be experienced in augmented reality to create customer experiences. So you can try this exercise later because this will take some time. Okay, so this is for later. But very quickly, what we will do right now is this. QR codes, as I said, are being used extensively. So this is one of the products. I've also shown the back side of the product where the label is there. And there is a QR code there on the product, which I've given over here. So if you just quickly scan this thing now, please quickly scan this thing and see what you get to see when you scan this particular QR code. What do you get to know more about the product? I would want to know from you.
Mayonnaise.
Yes, what you can see is the
recipes.
recipe. Yeah, so that's how this works. So on product packages, this is how the marketers have started giving information. So somebody will give some recipe, somebody will give information about the nutritional content of the product, somebody will tell you that how this particular product can be combined with various other products in order to come up with various types of just not just the recipe but also combos over here. So in case of different products, you have varied options. So Coke Studio example talked about a music platform. From the QR code, it was taking you to the music platform. Over here, this is a mayonnaise dressing. It is taking you to the recipe. So now the entire creativity in case of digital marketing is upon the marketers to think. It is easy to generate QR code, but important to think that, okay, if I am using QR code to do some digital marketing, where do I want my customers to go? So when I scan the code, do I want to take my customer to my company website? Do I want to show them the nutritional content of the product? Do I want to take them to a platform where they can listen to music? Do I want to take them to now there's a very famous brand in India. So Cadbury chocolates, which in India, the strategy that they're using these days, I'm not sure about the other countries, that on the package, they are giving a QR code. Okay, so in the next class, probably I'll try to give the QR code to you if I can find out that. So because I did this in one of my classes, some time back. So when you actually scan that QR code, it will give you certain options of choosing certain options where you can create a personalized birthday song for your friends and for your family members. So a lot of my students actually created personalized birthday songs for their family members, for their friends. It asks you certain questions, the name of the person for which the song is being created, what are the things that that person likes, what are the things that this person does not like, what are the daily habits, and how the person looks like. And with the help of all that information and selecting the genre of songs, what type of song, English, Hindi, different language, hip hop, pop, you select the type of the song, it will generate a personalized song for you just in 1 minute, less than 1 minute at times. That is how, the technology is being used. And this is one part of artificial intelligence, which is helping you create that thing. So now the entire creativity is how to use this technology. The last strategy here is the social media stories. So on Facebook and Instagram, especially, you've seen brands sharing their social media stories, which will disappear after a particular point of time. Now, in the initial days when social media stories started, the stories would disappear after 24 hours. And in case I wanted to show the same story again, I had to create that thing and upload that thing again to the platform. But now, because of certain changes which have taken place, now these stories will go to your archive section. And if I want to use these stories again, I can actually show them again to the consumers. Now this is something that appears as a highlighting thing on the top of your Instagram or Facebook page and not necessarily as a part of your feed. So now what has been suggested as some of the strategies over here, because of certain benefits that, people who are following your page will automatically see the social media stories of the brands. What actually should be the strategies? In fact, one of the benefits, first of all, people are able to give a reaction to your stories. Have they liked it? Right? Thumbs up. Have they given a heart to it? Have they loved the story? Or any other reaction? Sometimes they're also angry about what you're writing. So they can give the reactions on your social media stories, as you can see with the help of this yellow arrow in the first picture. Also, over here, you can say that yes or no, whether you like this look of the room. This is again in case of a home designing thing. And then in the second picture, you have 7 tips to design the exterior of your home. As soon as you click on this, you will reach a page which gives you a write-up of these 7 tips. Not just looking at the picture, but it also gives you a write-up of the picture. Now, please have a look at the suggestions, which are relevant now in the next 2 pictures. So they say that you should ideally add links to your social media stories. So if you have a look at this social media story, do you have a look at this thing, the yellow arrow which says subscribe? As soon as I click on this is a link. It will help me subscribe to the Vogue magazine, where I'll be able to read the content in future. It is also telling about the basic discount on the subscription that I'm getting. So any benefits, any content that you want to stand out about your brand should be mentioned in your social media stories, so that the customers can actually look at that content. They should be able to also see the links over here.
Yeah, excuse me, Prof. Gupta, is your site still on the FIBA products, or it should be different? So the slide that we are watching currently is the product that FIBA, the QR codes in packaging.
Okay. Yes, I think this is showing me that it is paused. Just let me
Okay.
just quickly, I'm so sorry for that. I didn't realize that probably just went on pause. I'll just share this thing again. Thanks for pointing out, Renee. Okay, so can you see this thing now?
Yes.
Right, so it has been suggested in the social media stories. We need to put certain links for here. In the yellow part, you can see the subscribe to this particular magazine. This is the benefit available. Then over here also, what you can see is that a link is provided for the Club Mahindra. Next is a club membership thing. This also is getting reflected over here through the link. So you can actually click on the links in order to see more about this particular brand. In order to subscribe to them, you need to put your important pointers in the social media stories, which will disappear in 24 hours, but now will also be available in the archive section. So if I want to run the same social media story after 10 days or after 15 days, because I realized that people were engaging with this story more, so I should use it more. How were they engaging with the story more? Because they are sending a reaction to you. They are, at the bottom, you can see that there is a like button, there is a heart button. So all those things you're seeing, they are able to send reactions to the conversations that you are making with the audience. So these are the advantages of your social media stories also. With the help of all these things, you can actually invite also your users to share certain content with you, right? So that is another part of your digital marketing, where we talk about the user generated content which the company can put on their web pages. So let me say that there's this Colgate toothpaste, the red picture that you're seeing over here. It sells a toothpaste called the Colgate Visible White, which talks about whitening of the teeth. So you run a contest, you tell the consumers, okay, you click a picture with a nice smile showing your white teeth and holding your, the Colgate white toothpaste. Send us your selfies. And if we select your selfie, then we will show it on the social media platform. So people take part in these selfie contests. They send their entries, and if the brand selects their picture, posts it on the social media page, they are excited that, wow, I am on the Colgate page. Now, once people are excited about, the fact that they are featuring on the page, they will start sharing this content with their friends and family members. So what happens is, Colgate has not done any photo shoot. It has invited entries. It shortlisted the entries. So this content was created by the user. Now, when the user gets featured on their website, okay, because of the selfie contest or any other content that they are sending, maybe I'm making an ad and sending to the brand which they have liked. So if my content is getting featured on the social media platform, I want to share it with my family and friends. So now the customer himself or herself will start sharing the content to other people because they are excited about it. The same thing you can see over here in case of a travel app, Make My Trip. So they asked people to share their travel story. So this is one of the young couples which went on one of the trips using this travel app. They shared their story. Their pictures were shortlisted by the brand. The brand took their permission to share this thing on the mobile app. They gave the consent that yes, you can use our pictures on your app. And because they are seeing these pictures on the app now, they're excited to share it with their friends and family that see, we are on this platform. They are using our pictures, or our pictures have been shortlisted for their promotional part and all. So this is what the brands are doing. They are asking the consumers to send some content to them in the form of pictures, in the form of other content. And because users are creating that content for the brand, therefore it is called as a user generated content, right? So what are the final takeaways now after all this discussion? What we have seen is that the digital marketing is growing in terms of popularity, and therefore the firms need to upscale their digital game, right? Also, because the digital appetite is rising amongst the consumers. I want to see more of this technology, the immersive experiences, what I've seen, the interesting parts, I want to see more of it. Therefore, the brands will have to create engaging content with the consumers. So we have seen very few examples of how, you can actually engage the consumers in different ways. Also, to become a digitally strong brand, you really need to invest in digital technologies. So once you are investing in augmented reality, virtual reality, artificial intelligence, all these strategies can be designed. As for example, we saw that a lot of strategies of digital marketing can be achieved if you have your artificial intelligence software in place. The more sophisticated your artificial intelligence software, more creatively you can come out with so many different types of digital marketing strategies. So you need to invest in digital technologies. In terms of what other things can be used, you can use personalized messages, because people like when messages are directed towards them. So if I'm seeing a messages which is the same message sent to hundreds and thousands of people, I might not feel very important as a consumer. But when the brand is interacting me one-on-one, Ruchi, do you want to listen to your music list? When the cab person is asking me, or these are the products that we have shortlisted for you. So I feel that the brand is creating something for me personally, and therefore I prefer the brand more. So personalization has become important. Also, shoppable posts. Why? Because shop now, buy now, no more, subscribe. All these are options that you can give on social media platforms very easily. People can click on it and they can actually end up buying the product or knowing more about the product. And therefore, the entire longish process of shopping, which was involved earlier, can be actually reduced to very small steps. And therefore, in that sense, when we talked about the benefits of digital marketing, we said that digital marketing helps in creating higher conversion rates. How is that conversion rate being created? Because you've actually given those options to people that shop now. They shop, they make the payment, the customer has been created, converted to an actual customer. So potential customer gets converted to an actual customer. This is a big benefit of digital marketing. And at last, we also say that now the use of QR codes, social media stories for quick interaction with people is also something that is being used by the brands. So that's all for today's lecture. Now, again, because this is a recorded lecture, so I'm giving you a short exercise which you can do as a fun exercise later on. Also, we have already mentioned that digital marketing is being used, along with the traditional media of marketing. So I hope all of you have heard about the Barbie movie, which was released internationally recently, right? So I've just given a small marketing insight from one of my books, which has come out this year. So this is just one small write-up that you can read. Okay, in terms of traditional media, that how certain Burger King actually came up with a pink sauce and the pink burger, which had a look and feel of Barbie. You can actually read about it first thing from these slides only. Then in terms of digital marketing, now that was happening in terms of traditional marketing, that how the product was being designed and sold inside the Burger King outlets. But in terms of marketing and digital component of it, how Zara executed the campaign, how this entire thing was created, Barbie, big the statue kind of things, and live figures were actually used outside the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. So you would actually be able to see these things with the help of QR codes that I've given on this slide, right? So there is a lot which happened about or regarding the promotion of the Barbie movie. I've given just 4 QR codes over here, which you can scan later on, and you can see about how the promotion was being done on the traditional platform. In the next 2, 3 QR codes, the second, third, and also the fourth one to some extent, you will be able to see the digital component of it. So you will see some of the Instagram posts and some of the things in which the digital technology was being used in order to promote the movie. And it will be a very interesting thing to see. So whenever you have time, you can come on this slide, you can scan these QR codes and try to find out more about the promotion of Barbie movie and how the digital marketing component was used in it. In case you want to see more of this stuff and interesting stuff, you can also read this book, which is available on Amazon. So I've tried to put a lot of QR codes and a lot of customer experiences example over here in various aspects of marketing. So this is something which talks about the 4 P's of marketing and many more other things in terms of how marketing is happening these days, especially also using the digital component. Okay, so that's all from my side. This is my LinkedIn ID. You can connect with me on LinkedIn ID. I am, my ID exists by the name of Professor Ruchika Gupta. You can write to me at my Gmail ID, email ID also. So that's all from my side. And I see a lot of queries in the chat box.
Yeah, thank you so much, Prof. Gupta. As always, we get amazing presentations and very insightful explanation from your slides. And as we receive so many questions here, maybe we can just give the opportunity for one questions that already got the highest ratings from the participants. The question is coming from Ahmad Zulaihan. Yeah, thanks, Prof, for great presentations. My question is, before deciding to use digital marketing as a strategy to increase revenue from sales, what are the main considerations before making a decision? So as a company, what type of digital marketing is suitable, and do we need to develop our own application, or we just join an existing marketplace? What do you think about these questions, Prof? Thank
Yeah.
you.
So yes, a very important query every time is asked about the cost component because the digital technologies, the development of the technologies, it will come at a huge cost, especially when we're talking about a sophisticated artificial intelligence software. Not every company will be an expert in developing that kind of a technology. So most of the times we do outsource that job. So in the beginning of the presentation, I had talked about the digital when I was talking about the digital marketing landscape, we talked about the programmers aspect also separately, which I said is not a part of marketing. So if a digital marketing marketeer assumes that I will design the marketing strategy also and I will design the software also, that cannot happen. Sometimes your own in-house people from the IT department also will not have that expertise of developing that sophisticated software. So outsourcing will be required, one thing. So this is about the cost aspect of technology. If there is already an IT-enabled firm, it can learn from its own experiences and keep on modifying and improving its, digital technology over a period of time. That is also possible. So you will have to do a cost-benefit analysis. Now, another thing is, which is especially in terms of social media marketing and influencer marketing strategies. So some exercise on the cost benefit analysis, as Rennie probably would remember, we do in the second session of the digital marketing. For example, one of the strategies of using celebrity endorsers, putting the brand messages on Instagram is a very, very costly strategy. Some of the people like Ronaldo and all, internationally, who are the top, amongst the top paid for endorsing on Instagram. So in terms of Indian currency, they are getting somewhere close to rupees 17 crores. So how do I do a cost benefit of that also? So cost component will have a lot of things. I will just hold that discussion a little bit till we meet in the next session of digital marketing, because we will be doing an exercise. We'll be working with the figures. You will be writing something on the paper and doing a calculation and telling me your answers. So we are holding it till that time. I hope that should be fine. I've explained the point of outsourcing. We will talk more about the cost component in the next session.
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. Gupta. Hopefully, it can answer you, Pak Zulaihan, or do you have any feedbacks, Pak Zulaihan?
Yes, thanks a lot for Prof. Gupta for the insight. I think that's a good explanation for us as the consideration for the next action in our company. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Pak Zulaihan. And we have one student already raised hand here, Pak Iqbal Firmansyah. Okay, Pak Iqbal.
Yes, hello. Very interest topic because now all will need transform to the digital platform. Include in our company in APC, they will include AI to develop checking drawing also. But now I interest with the burger photo. I imagine it will more perfect if we can transform a sense of or flavor of food to the digital also. So when we watching the burger, we can also taste and flavor. Yeah, that is there
Yes,
any
it's
research?
possible. It's actually possible because what you were saying is very, similar thing we do in case of sensory marketing, again using technologies. So there have been cases where I'll just talk about one of the cases. I don't remember the country, but inside the buses, the mode of transportation of buses. So one of the coffee brands, what they had done was that as soon as the bus would pass through that coffee outlet, from the certain machines installed inside the buses, they would release a steam kind of a thing which would give you a flavor of coffee which you can actually smell. So people would actually smell a strong flavor of coffee once they were passing through that outlet, so giving you an urge to actually get down, go and get a cup of coffee. So similar way, the technology will also help you actually get you a taste of burger. In some sense it is possible through sensory marketing. Yes.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Gupta and Pak Iqbal. Maybe we can continue for the second highest rating question is coming from Pak Rusdiansyah. Or Pak Rusdiansyah, if you want to to say your questions directly to Prof. Gupta, I will give you opportunity. Is it possible, Pak
Sorry,
Rusdiansyah?
it's not possible. Sorry.
Oh, all right, okay. So yeah, there is a questions from Pak Rusdiansyah. Maybe I can just read. Good afternoon, Prof. Ruchi Gupta. I have one questions. We all know that the business process in the construction sector begins with a request from a person or agency, and usually there will be a tender process at the beginning. And the tender process will usually select the bidder with the lowest bid as the winner of the tender. What I want to ask is how to utilize digital marketing in the business process like this. Thank you.
Okay, so as I said, that digital technologies will be used in other processes. So when you're talking about tender pricing and all those things, it is about, yes, a pricing one component of digital marketing. So there are components of artificial intelligence which will help you achieve certain things over here. For example, if I correctly understood, this was about tender pricing or something. So once you have some previous data which is existing with you, because artificial intelligence will basically work with the database. If you have a large database, your artificial intelligence will be able to process the things in a much more smoother way, in a more sophisticated way. If you have less data, artificial intelligence might not work very effectively in the beginning, but as over the years you have data accumulated with you. For example, Facebook has a lot of data of users. So because they have big data with them, artificial intelligence will be able to learn from the experiences of so many consumers, and then understand consumer behavior and then produce results for you. Similarly, if you have a large base of tender pricing, how it works, what are the various factors which will work under it, artificial intelligence software can be programmed to produce very, very effective results. The similar thing about pricing also happens in case of cab services. So when I say that I'm booking a cab, say to my place of work, every day in the morning. So every day I'm not getting the same fare. Some day I'm paying 100 rupees. On the second day, I'm paying 200 rupees. On some other third day, I'm paying 150 rupees. Why? Because the artificial intelligence software is calculating the fare price for me on the basis of the demand and supply condition. Okay, that what is the demand for cabs right now at this point of time? What is the situation on the road? How many cabs are available? What is the traffic situation right now? So in terms of pricing, be it any aspect of pricing, we actually need databases which are able to, work with certain program, there are obviously programs which need to be written. As I'd mentioned earlier also, that that's a programmer's aspect. So they will be able to actually work on, with the help of technology, to come up with something concrete and help you to take decisions also. So artificial intelligence will generate something for you. Just in case, like your chat GPT, if you give a general query to chat GPT, it will give some answer to you. Now it is up to you to decide whether that answer is right or not. As chat GPT gets more and more information and more linkages of Google pages, they will chat GPT also will be able to generate, because that is one form of generative AI, it will be able to generate more sophisticated answers for you. So as your database goes stronger and wider, you are able to produce output in a much better way. That's how artificial intelligence works like. I
All
hope that
right.
gives you some sense of how it will be calculated.
Yeah, so the key point is the number of data that owned by the company. Pak
Yes.
Rusdiansyah, yeah, hopefully it can
Okay.
satisfy your questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Prof and Bu Reni.
All right. Thank you. So we can move to the next questions from Pak Maulana Alfia. Pak Maulana, is it possible for you to give your questions directly to Professor Gupta? Okay, Pak Maulana. I think he's currently away from the computer. Let me read the questions from Pak Maulana Alfial. Hi, Professor Ruchi Gupta. To predict the number of sales, we can use predictive analysis. Are there AI tools to predict marketing trends in the next 10 to 20 years? Meaning, what will the marketing strategy look like at that time?
Okay, so 10 to 20 years is a long time. So it's very
Yeah.
difficult to see that what developments will happen, because we can't even say in the next 3 years where will we stand, from now. Because every, single day the technology is improving. We never thought we will, some 10 years, 15 years back, we never thought something like Google Maps would be possible. We never thought sitting at home, so many things we'll be able to do. Online payments will be able to do. All these things have become very, very, very common now. But now the technology has started becoming all the more sophisticated. It has now become possible to do so many amazing things. We did some of the exercises today. I'll try to get some very interesting QR codes in the next class also, to give you a feeler of what amazing things are happening with the help of digital marketing. I would strongly suggest that this exercise of the Coke Studio and one or two other QR codes that I've given for the Barbie movie, where you'll be able to see that, when I'm looking at the road, I can actually see 3D objects falling, which are not actually falling in the physical space. It is just a visual reflection which is created for the consumer. So many amazing things have started happening now. Where this technology will stand 20 years down the line is something which is not possible to say right now. But yes, in the next 5 years also, in the next coming 5 years, you will see all the more amazing things happening. This is only going to get like more sophisticated, more better. But yes, as I could see some of the questions related to data privacy and all, so those problems are also there in digital marketing. But as we know that everything will have a plus and a negative side to it, there are ways to manage that negative side also. I'm answering that question already, though it is not asked. But because the darker side is also there of digital marketing, especially about data leakages and data privacy. So that is something that various governments in different countries have also started managing. So we can hope, at least not talking about 10, 20 years, but after about 5 years or so, we'll be more secure in terms of data security, and the laws of different countries will also become more stringent to protect their consumers in terms of the data that they're sharing on various platforms. So this is something which probably we'll see in the next 5 years. Some amazing technology upgradation, amazing strategies which will be executed. Data privacy is expected to become better, because we are learning every day that how we can protect ourselves.
All right, thank you so much. Hopefully it can answer your questions, Pak Maulana, and other participants who ask about the data privacy in the marketing strategy. All right, do you have any feedback, Pak Maulana?
Thank you, Mr. Rani and Guruji. I think it's enough for the answer. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Pak Maulana. So we can move to another questions from Pak Ahmad Rifki Anda. Pak Ahmad Rifki Anda, is it possible for you to deliver your questions directly? Pak
Ya, Bu
Rifki
Reni.
Anda. All right. Okay,
Thank
please.
you, Prof. Ruchi Gupta, for the lecture. It's very insightful. So we know that the metaverse from Facebook is emerging as a transformative space for user interaction and engagement with the brand. So how are the digital marketers leveraging the metaverse in 2023 to create immersive brand experience? And what potential challenge do they face in integrating it into their marketing strategies? Thank you.
Yeah, so I've already given you some snippets of what they're doing to create immersive experiences. So and this is not something which has just started happening in 23. So in the last 2-3 years, we have seen various strategies. I've given you some recent examples of this. So for example, at the time when Instagram also launched the Instagram voice notes, so certain brands in India actually came up with various types of contests where people could record certain things on Instagram, submit it as entries, about certain, you know, uh, actually convert the voice messages into some graphs which should represent some food items. For example, for nachos, your sound graph should look like a triangle if you want to win a nacho. So some very interesting things were happening. Now immersive experiences, as I've already shown you, the AR mirrors. So if you try, I was just trying to include one of the QR codes, but I think it was a limited use QR code which Tommy Hilfiger stores have actually started using in terms of using the AR mirrors. I have already talked about the luxury brands like Gucci and all, which have installed AR or augmented reality mirrors outside the showroom, so that you can just, stand like this and I can see how the handbag will look, when I just hold it with this dress. I don't even need to have the handbag in my hand. I don't even need that because that thing is automatically created by the AR mirror. So this is one kind of experience. Use of QR codes, because it can actually take you to a place, right from, just a QR code, which could just be existing in a book on the label of the package, as we have seen, or on the packaging of the product. You can take the consumer wherever you want to. One of the Cadbury chocolates ad had a QR code in the newspaper. So in one of the ads, when I had scanned the QR code, it took me to the Big Basket, which is an e-commerce website where I could directly buy that chocolate. The second ad of the same brand, when it used the QR code, when I scanned the QR code, it showed me the advertisement of that particular chocolate. So now every time when I'm scanning the code, I am experiencing something new. It is not the same thing that I'm seeing every time. So there is a popular thing which has, I hope all of you have heard about Shah Rukh Khan, because I was told, in some of the initial classes that you do know about Bollywood movies. So one of the brands has also created some kind of an experience where you can actually experience yourself with Shah Rukh Khan. So I'm yet to see how they are executing it. So I'll get one of those packets of the brands and actually scan it to see how they're actually doing it. So if it is something interesting, I'd like to show you in the next class. So now the kind of experiences, which people are, excited to do, okay, let me do this, or let me create a birthday song for my friend where I want to make it funny and I want to, tell my friend, okay, this is how I'm pulling your leg, or, or I've created something very nice for my family members. So all those experiences are there. So when I am actually presenting a birthday wish, a personalized birthday wish in the form of a personalized song to somebody, it is an experience for me. So it is not just now about buying of a product. Okay, fine, we are buying. But what exactly is product doing to reach out to us, to engage with us as consumers? How the consumers start feeling connected more to the brand with the help of technology. Now, technology is there to do lots of things. Marketers will want to use their own creative hat. Okay, let me try doing it this way, that kind of a thing. So there have been examples, if you want to read about it, because I know of this Indian example, a brand called Boat, which is a wearable brand, a big brand in India. So what they did was, in a newspaper, when they had already manufactured some 1 crore items and became one of the biggest wearable brands in India, they came out with a augmented reality ad in a newspaper. So the front page of the newspaper had an ad, I could put just my mobile phone pointing out towards it, and I could see the ad moving inside my phone, giving me the major uh, roadmaps of how the brand actually has progressed over a period of time. So it depends on my ingenuity, on my creativity, that what do I want my consumers to experience. There is no end to it, right? And that is why we say that marketing is all about being creative. Technology is one part which will assist you, but your creativity also has to be reflected in your strategies.
Yes, exactly, Prof. Gupta. Thank you so much. Hopefully, it can satisfy your questions, Pak Riftianda and other
Thank you.
participants. All
Thank
right.
you.
Perhaps we move to the last question since during the very limited time. So maybe I will invite Bu Indira. Bu Indira, is it possible for you to deliver your questions directly, Bu Indira? Okay, please, Bu Indira.
Thank you. Is my voice clear? Okay. Well, I really want to ask about the how we could filter the marketing of bad product, Professor Gupta, because not only the good side, we have also the negative side of digital marketing, such as negative content like online gambling or maybe violence or like that. So I need your advice. Thank you.
Yeah, so this online gambling and all, in terms of how you want to position, so that is also product offering, yes, and it has certain legal implications in certain countries. For example, online gambling also is not allowed in all the countries of the world. So that's a different aspect altogether. So how to make it creative to get people to that platform is another ethical question that we are trying to address, right? So one thing is about strategizing, one thing is about creativity, and the third is also about the ethical part of it. So the ethical part of it, just like we talk about data privacy and all, and we know that we should not leak our customers' data. It is an ethical part, or the ethical, a big ethical thing for a marketer. I have to take a conscious call that I will not leak my data, though I can make money from it, but I am choosing not to do it. Similarly, people, have to choose those ethical practices in their respective businesses. A person whose business only is gambling, that person has probably, crossed that ethical thing and, trying to get people to gamble. So there are ways in which you can actually make digital marketing strategies to actually do it. So I'll just give you a small example as to how you can do it if you're wanting me to elaborate on it, though it is not good to give ideas to people who are, running that platform. So not giving you exactly example of gambling, but something about, say, Hollywood movies and Bollywood movies. So if I want, say, more viewership for a particular movie which has come out, for example, in case of a lot of Indian movies, we have seen these things being used. There's something which is called as advert games, which is also a kind of digital marketing strategy. Now, what is this advert game? This advert game is, because this is something related to the question that you asked on online gambling. So advert game is something which will create a game based on the story of the movie with the same characters, which are animated characters. It will ask people to download that game, to play that game with the characters of the movie. So, for example, the plot of a movie is based on a diamond robbery which happens, right? So that online game would also be based on the same plot. So people can be taking part as one of the characters of the movie, okay, which are existing in the animated form, and they feel that now I am also part of the movie, and I am also taking part in this, diamond robbery thing. Okay, I'm wanting not to name gambling, but same thing can happen here also. People are getting, customers hooked on to their games like this, that you become a part of it, you do it, you become a part of the story, and you experience it yourself. So again, it is a type of customer experience which is happening through the advert games. So in case you want to have a feel of how the advert games are being used, I can just give you some examples. In case you know about, I know very readily about certain Bollywood movies. So there is one Shah Rukh Khan movie which is called as Happy New Year. I think one of the latest movies also has made advert game. So Happy New Year is one story which was based on diamond robbery, and there were some 5-6 characters. And Krish, Bajrangi Bhaijaan, I don't know which of the movies you are aware of, but I was told that you people are aware of at least some of the Bollywood movies. These are the movies I remember very readily that they have, yes, made their advert games. You can actually download these from the Play Store on Android phones. You can actually play it to see that how the marketers are making you a part of the story. You can be one of the characters, you can experience living the story yourself and then getting engaged in it. So that is also one kind of customer experience.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Gupta. Hopefully
And
it can satisfy you, Bu Indira.
Yes, thank you very
Okay.
much.
I
Oh,
see a raise of hand also by Fernandez.
all right, all right.
Is there a question?
We can give time for Pak Fernandez. Pak Fernandez, please.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, very good
This is
afternoon.
Gupta, Prof. Gupta. So this topic is very interesting for me. So as well as our discussing this afternoon is very nice. So everybody has highlighting in time of marketing, technologies. So I just see this one and I took a snap thinking about that that when we're talking about the digital marketing, this is not about the local. Local means that we are talking about the global, international market for this one. So that there are a lot of benefits and there are a lot of negatives that the Ibu, I forgot the name for, also highlighting this one. So I'm thinking about if there is if you know something about I'm talking about the policy actually, policy maker for this one. So then the governments or should have think about this digital marketing is must be have what we call that like legal rules and the policy for this one, such as like organization to handle this kind of the things, even with the brands and customers relationship, customer what we call that record customer, anything that they found something negative for this one, it should be have a organization to handle this one. I need your opinion with regard with this one. Thank you very much for Gupta.
Yeah, sure. So we already have in place, many governments which are making policies and laws regarding the digital marketing stuff. So, for example, in India, we have the IT Act. I'm sure that every country is actually wanting to improvise on the Information Technology Acts, what is happening on the social media. So, in the next lecture that we are going to have, we will talk about some of the developments which have taken place in the influencer marketing area, for example. So, what was the situation earlier in many countries, and what has happened now? Not just in India, but in many places in the world. That what are the kind of stuff that people have started suggesting in order to make digital strategies effective. There has already been a lot of discussion in many countries, and it has already been reflected in laws in terms of what precautions to be taken in terms of data privacy, what is allowed, what is not allowed, and that is why Facebook was in problem, because if the laws are not in place, nobody is there to question the brands, to big brands especially, because the big brands are the brands which have big data, and big data is one thing that the technology can work on very effectively, right? So there are laws which are already there in place. There are things which actually need to be taken care of. We will also, if we get time in the next class, talk about a very interesting aspect of artificial intelligence, in terms of that it is not just limited to what we are programming it to be. It actually is on itself learning a lot of things from the interactions that we have. So if I'm having a conversation at home with my family, it will just pick up the stuff that, the things that we are discussing. Your mobile phone is probably having, the capability of listening to the conversations, and then you start seeing stuff that you're discussing at home. This is something that amazes you. So what are those problems also, and how those things can be controlled, though everything cannot be controlled, and certain things are still, certain things still we face a lot of challenge in solving them. I was talking to one of the people from the IT background at one of the conferences that I was attending, and this person told me a very interesting things, and this was about 4 5 years back, that they had a company had made a robo which was based on the artificial intelligence software, and it was learning every day from the interactions that were happening around it, from what it was listening on the news, in the media, from the conversations which was going on. And then this robo one day had an interview with one of the media people, and there the robo mentioned that I want to destroy the entire human species. Now
All
imagine
right.
the kind of challenge. So because they did not know how to control that and correct that in the programming, so they had to diffuse the entire robot so that it doesn't become a threat to it, to the human race. So there are challenges. There are things that we have started addressing, that we have started controlling to some extent. But yes, challenges are there. But that will happen in case of any kind of a thing, anything, especially technology related thing. The plus points will be there, the minus points will be there. We will talk more about certain suggestions which have started emerging in the area of digital marketing in our next class also. So we'll have some part of that discussion there as well.
All right. Thank you so much, Prof. Gupta. Pak Fernandes, hopefully it can satisfy you, Pak Fernandes. Okay. Unfortunately, as we run out of time for today's sessions, we apologize that we cannot accommodate all of the questions, but we still have another interesting topic in the next week. So make sure that you don't miss our next guest lecture in the next week on the same times. And thank you so much, Prof. Gupta, for giving us the very interesting and insightful lecture. And also, thank you so much for all of the students that who participates actively in the discussion. Yeah, I will probably we can still continue for the interesting discussions in the next sessions. Yeah, we will waiting for you to join another sessions. And thank you so much, Prof. Gupta. And unfortunately I need to the sessions need to be stopped until here. Thank you so much. Good evening everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Salam.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you,
Thank you
Prof.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Okay.
being a very patient audience,
Thank you,
and
Prof.
thank you for inviting me again. I hope to see you all very soon. Namaste.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Namaste. Thank you.
Namaste.